Most people trade 40 hours a week for a paycheck that is immediately spoken for by rent and groceries. This exchange creates a closed loop where your time is the primary fuel for a basic cycle of consumption. The progress is often stalled by a leaky bucket. High-interest consumer debt, specifically credit cards, averaging over 20%, silently siphons off resources before they can ever be converted into long-term savings. Between rising shelter costs and taxes, the system is calibrated to leave the average earner with zero net surplus by the end of the month. When the extraction of your income matches the speed of your labor, you are essentially treading water. This dynamic forces you to pay for yesterday's survival with today's effort. Without a specific mechanism to break that sequence, you are effectively leasing your own future to the labor market indefinitely. To find the exit, we have to look at the statistical reality of how the ultra-wealthy actually generate their net worth. It rarely happens through the steady accumulation of a standard salary. According to tax and investment data, 75% of the world's richest are entrepreneurs, and 15% are professional investors. Breaking this cycle requires utilizing a specific structural loophole. You must pay yourself before any other entity can touch your earnings. The mathematical mandate for this is the 12.5% rule. By automatically diverting the first hour of your daily labor directly into growth assets, you ensure that a portion of your life energy is permanently captured rather than spent. This diversion must be mechanical and invisible. By intercepting these funds before the tax system or your daily bills can reach them, you remove the element of human willpower from the equation. This creates a shield against a consumer culture that spends billions to convince you to trade your finite time for status symbols. It's a choice to stop using your life energy to impress strangers. Consistently applying this 12.5% rule represents a shift in identity. It legally moves you out of the consumer class and begins the process of building an independent ownership stake in the economy. The engine that powers this growth is compound interest. It functions like a physics engine for capital, famously described by Albert Einstein as the most powerful force in the universe. To see how this scales, look at a 20-year-old named Billy. He starts early, investing a modest $200 a month. Because he gives the math 40 years to work, his small contributions eventually turn into an exponential upward curve of wealth. Contrast this with Phil, who waits until he is 30 to start. Even if Phil invests $300 a month to catch up, he ends up with nearly $600,000 less than Billy. Billy's advantage wasn't his cash, it was his time. Warren Buffett is the ultimate case study in this patience. While he was a billionaire at age 60, 99% of his multi-billion-dollar net worth was generated after his 60th birthday, simply because he allowed the compounding process to continue uninterrupted for decades. This proves that financial escape is not a function of high income or market timing. It is a mathematical result of starting early and allowing the physics of time to do the heavy lifting. Wealth is the possession of a financial machine that generates enough income to cover your life without requiring your labor. It is the ability to operate independently of the standard paycheck cycle. You can calculate exactly when you reach this threshold using the rule of 25. The formula is simple. Your annual baseline expenses multiplied by 25 equals your freedom number. If your survival expenses, rent, food, and basic needs cost $40,000 a year, your target lump sum is $1 million. This figure represents the point where your capital can finally replace your salary. This is possible because of the 4% safe withdrawal rate. Withdrawing only 4% of that $1 million principal annually allows the core balance to remain intact, as it typically regenerates through average market growth. Money is a specialized tool for reclaiming your calendar. Reaching this mathematical threshold allows you to regain permanent control over your time and secure your permanent escape from the system.